We definitely need more Backrooms levels like the one in today's video. In this world full of crazy Backrooms levels with environments that might be wacky or stupid, entities that might be dumb, and effects that are weird, it's nice that every once in a while we can get back to the basics and talk about a chill, regular, liminal space Backrooms level that kind of gives you that 2020 Backrooms feeling. And that is exactly what the level in today's video does for me, and I know it does it for a lot of other people. So without further ado, without any more blabbering, let me get into the explanation of Backrooms level 98, aka the Downtown Diner. And let's take a step into the old Backrooms, shall we? So, level 98 is the 99th level in the catalog of lore, and it has been given a description that is quite simple, quite easy to follow. It's just a few paragraphs long. The entirety of the level is split up into several different zones, with two main ones existing. The first area is a small, repeating section of old brick roads in between buildings. The road is lined on both sides by these old brick structures, and it kind of gives you the vibe that you step back into time somehow, like you're not in modern day anymore. The brick buildings themselves look like storefronts and shops and apartment buildings, but they seem older and more ancient. The one and only really weird property that this level has is a strange thing that happens in the physical space, in the actual air. This property is known as looping, and what that means is essentially you are looped over and over and over again when you're outside. So if you stood in the middle of this road and you looked out in front of you, you would see a copy of yourself out in front of you. And this repeats over and over and over, kind of like an infinite mirror in a maze or something. This effect is not detrimental or that dangerous, it's just kind of weird to look at, and it can throw people off if they don't know about it. Almost none of the buildings on the side of this street can be opened. Most of their doors are locked, and their windows are barred shut. But the one that can be open, of course, is the famous Downtown Diner restaurant. This is the main focal point of the level, and it's the part that you probably heard about. The diner has a glowing yellow lit sign on the outside of the building that has the words Downtown Diner written on it. And it really looks to be the only place in the level that has any sort of life to it. Everywhere else is kind of abandoned and barren and cold feeling. This place feels warm and alive. It's kind of like going out to a Waffle House at 1 a.m., if you know what I'm talking about. When you approach the diner and when you open up the door to go inside, you will instantly hear the soft, familiar sound of classic music playing in the speakers. The comforting smell of breakfast foods being cooked will waft from the kitchen area, and the sounds of dishes and clanking pots and silverware chattering and bustling people can be heard as well. It seems like you just walked right into a diner from your childhood and that everything, for just a moment, is peaceful. The only bad part is the sounds do fade as you get closer to the kitchen area, and you'll realize that it's actually empty. But it was nice while it lasted. Looking out to the rest of the interior of the diner, you'll notice old-looking booths and tables and chairs and an old breakfast bar and dim lights from the ceiling while that music plays overhead. It really has the feeling of an old Waffle House or a Denny's from real life if you've ever been to one of those. And to add even more to that effect, the level is always dark outside, and the calm ambient lighting inside here is just very relaxing. It's known to be very calming. If you walk in and sit down at any one of these booths or tables or at the bar or anything, there's a good chance that you can summon a few different entities. Now these entities take the physical appearance as people that you know from real life, or rather people that you used to know, because you're not in real life anymore, you used to know, you know what I'm saying. These people will look very, very similar, almost identical to individuals from your personal life in the front rooms. The only problem is the faces of these entities are slightly blurred, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly what you're looking at or who you're looking at, but you just kind of know who they are. It would be like if you saw your mom out in public with her face blurred, like you would know it's her, but you couldn't actually tell. Any attempts to stand up and to approach these entities has caused them to vanish. They seem to not want to talk to you or interact with you at all, and they kind of just pop up and walk around and act as the other patrons and the other visitors to the diner. The diner can be empty when you walk into it, but when you sit down, these people I just mentioned will appear and they'll kind of be there sitting at the other booths. The diner instills a lonely and melancholic feeling into wanderers who find themselves here. It gives emotions of happiness and contentness, but also the feelings of isolation. You know, you're here all alone and by yourself, and you're 97 levels deep into the backrooms, and you're kind of just sitting in an empty building at a diner table. That seems lonely, yeah, but at the same time, you're not being eaten by an entity, you're not being devoured by something else, there's not an environment trying to kill you, you're just here at this one moment in time in a peaceful, calm diner. And because of this relaxing nature of the level, there's been a few bases and a few outposts that have cropped up as well. Since it's a class 1 safe level and there's no bad effects, that was bound to happen. The one and only real outpost that's here that people live in is known as the diner patrons. And these are kind of just people who have decided to not leave the diner. They're wanderers from any walks of life that have gotten here and have decided to just eat the food that's available here, consume the drinks that are available here, and just chill inside the diner at the booths forever. They're not aggressive, they're willing to trade, they're willing to talk to you, and it's just one of those cool groups of people that you can run into while in the back rooms. Speaking of the food and the drink in this diner, the kitchen area is typically stocked with food, and it seems to infinitely replenish its own stock, which is a pretty common feature in the back rooms, but I digress. Breakfast foods and lunch foods are available here. Even if you might have to cook them, the appliances are still there for you to do that. So if you're really craving like eggs and bacon or something, you can go back in the kitchen and cook up some eggs and bacon. It is unknown why the diner is the only building in all of the level that can be opened. Like I said, there's tons of other different buildings outside. They're just closed off, they're locked, you can't see in them, you don't know what's beyond the doors, you don't know what's beyond the windows. As of right now, this is the only place you can go. But even though all those doors are locked and the diner is the only thing open, there's still no outright danger to anyone that comes here. This is just an old-fashioned, liminal space-esque level that you should come to and visit if you want to take a respite from the dangers of the backrooms. But to enter this level, if you want to come, you can choose one of two ways. One is that you can find a metal door over on level 5 or level 11, and you can walk through to find an entrance to the hub. Once you're in the hub, you can find an entrance to here. But you have to do it in the order I just said, or it won't appear. To exit, you can escape into the darkness of level 6 by walking down a really pitch black alleyway in this level to the end of a street. And by doing that, you'll end up in level 6. Or you can do the easier way and the less crazy way and just walk into the bathroom of the diner, and this will take you to level 103. This level is easy to enter, this level is easy to exit, and it's one of those perfect levels that no matter what happens here or what happens in the back rooms, you can come here and you can just relax for as long as you want to. No one really ever thinks about this level, but I think people should. It's such a great place to go, very vibey, very calm, and it's just a beacon of relaxation while you're going through the hellscape of the Backrooms levels. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. That's it for the video. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for watching to the end specifically. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you want more just calm liminal space levels like this. I love going over these. They just kind of itch that nostalgia bone of my body back from like the 2020 Backrooms. But anyways, thank y'all for your support. I love and appreciate each and every one of you, and make sure you tell somebody you love them as well. Life is too short not to. With all that said, hopefully your day is going fantastic, and I'll go ahead and cut this video off here. Peace and love, and bye-bye.